These are 10 times Meghan Markle had a tantrum. Number 10. When Meghan stopped making any sense at all. While being interviewed about her statements about the royal family, Meghan dodges the questions asked to her and instead just decides to literally groan and moan. An interviewer said this: "At one point in our conversation, instead of answering a question, she will suggest how I might transcribe the noises she's making. She's making these guttural sounds, and I can't quite articulate what it is she's feeling in that moment because she has no word for it. She's just moaning." Alison P. Davis explained how Meghan was incoherent and making completely random noises. If this isn't a tantrum, I don't know what is. She goes on later during the interview to insinuate that the royal family is racist, even though the Queen showed a great effort to get her acquainted with how to perform her duties as a royal properly. Meghan seemed to want the royal wealth, but not the royal responsibility. At number 9, when she compared herself to Nelson Mandela. The story goes that the former actress turned Duchess was at a premiere of The Lion King on Broadway when a South African actor stopped her and told her that, "I just need you to know, when you married into this family, we rejoiced in the streets the same we did when Mandela was freed from prison." That's what Meghan Markle says happened, but none of the South African actors from the play claims that the comments were made by them. Later on, one of Nelson Mandela's grandkids said this: "Madiba's celebration was based on overcoming 350 years of colonialism and 60 years of a brutal apartheid regime in South Africa. It cannot be equated as the same," clearly condemning her for comparing herself to Nelson Mandela in any way. It's clear to me that Meghan is trying to get the public to like her in any way, which is why she compared herself to such a popular activist such as Mandela himself. Maybe next time, don't quote something that nobody said. At number 8, the Queen's Jubilee. The ex-royal pair, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, decided to cut short their celebrations of the Queen's Jubilee, flying back early instead of participating in the later celebrations. Royal expert Katie Nicole said her take on the situation: "I honestly think it's because they knew they wouldn't be in that front row. And why did they leave the royal family? They left because they weren't in the front row. I believe that's why they weren't at the other celebrations, as they did not have center stage seats." Meghan disregarded the respect for Queen Elizabeth II's 70th year on the throne and just flew back with Harry, all for some seats. I can only imagine what it would feel like, being the Queen and trying to celebrate your 70th year on the throne when a couple of your grandkids decide to leave because they aren't getting enough attention. At number 7, when she made the Queen mad just before her wedding with Harry. In November 2018, just days after the couple returned from their successful tour Down Under, the Times reported that Meghan had thrown a tiara tantrum shortly before her wedding because the tiara she wanted to wear was not available, said Andrew Morton, royal biographer, in his new book. It was revealed in the same book that Harry spoke to the Queen about the tiara, asking if Meghan could get the one she truly wanted. Rather than giving in to Harry's request for the one Meghan wanted, Morton adds the Queen replied with, "She gets what tiara she's given by me." Additionally, in Meghan's interview with Oprah Winfrey in March, she recalled that Kate had made her cry, and added that she had forgiven her sister-in-law and sent flowers. But according to palace staff, who have since accused Meghan of bullying, the scenario played out the other way around, with Kate leaving in tears. At number 6, when a former palace employee put her on blast for wanting fame. Senior staff in Buckingham Palace became aware that there was concern about the way people were being spoken to. Something was not working, and Queen Elizabeth II agreed to the couple's request to form a new office at Buckingham Palace with their own staff. However, another request for an office independent of the palace was denied. The Queen had spent her life in public service and expected the same unwavering adherence to duty. "Duty means being in the service of others," the former palace employee said. "It's not about you, it's about what you're doing for other people. It's not about self-promotion. Royalty isn't celebrity. They're two very different things." Surely, Meghan probably spun this into something like the palace staff were bullying her. At number 5, when Meghan was hoarding flowers during the Queen's funeral. The passing of Queen Elizabeth II was a tragedy all around the world, seeing leaders from all over come to the UK to pay their respects. Meghan Markle found a way to make this tragic day a way to reconstruct her image. Protocol for placing down the flowers at the tribute is that the royal aides will take bouquets received from the public from royals and place them at the tributes. Meghan was seen holding a few bouquets of flowers when a royal aide approached her to take them to the tribute. Meghan reportedly told the aide that she would do it herself, clearly wanting the money shot of her placing the flowers at the tribute to build up her reputation. Another aide came to her as she had now collected many flower bouquets from the public and explained to her the protocol, taking the flowers from her and placing them down himself. At number 4, the many times she lost control on her palace staff. On many occasions, it has been reported that Meghan was abusive and annoying to her palace staff. The palace staff assigned to her is really only there to help, so losing your cool on them seems so counterproductive. Don't worry, if there was literally anyone else else I could ask to do this, I would be asking them instead of you," she said to one of them. A palace staff worker was also left shaking, terrified of the Duchess. "She's not picking up. I feel terrified," the employee reportedly said after they couldn't reach the Duchess of Sussex by phone. "This is so ridiculous. I can't stop shaking," they said. No one really knows how scary Meghan Markle can get when she loses her temper, but these people know all too well, it seems. At number 3, when she lost her cool on an experienced royal aide. Samantha Cohen, the experienced royal aide who Queen Elizabeth II asked to help Meghan transition into royal life, was screamed at by the couple before and during a flight to Australia for their 2018 tour. Sam always made clear that it was like working for a couple of teenagers. They were impossible and pushed her to the limit. She was miserable, a friend of Cohen's claimed. She was constantly having to battle on Harry and Meghan's behalf while taking all this abuse from them. That's terrible. It seems that the Queen sent her most reliable person on her staff to help Meghan, and she was broken by the experience. At number 2, when Meghan left the royal family. Meghan decided in January of 2020 that she would be stepping down with her husband, Prince Harry, from their royal duties. She seems to think that her existence in general was so important and grand that she was wrecking the royal family. Just by existing, we were upsetting the dynamic of the hierarchy. So we go, "Okay, fine, let's get out of here." "Happy to," said Meghan on her leave. She also said that, for whatever reason, is not something that we are allowed to do, even though several other members of the family do the exact same thing. Perhaps she believes she is wanted in the family for whatever reason. At number 1, the time she threw tea at a staffer. Allegedly, she threw a cup of hot tea at one of the Admiralty House staff in Oz. Meghan expected to get the whole of Admiralty House to stay during their tour, but she only got a wing of it. So, allegedly, she told the host to 4-letter word off and asked, "Do you know who I am?" Apparently, she was like a Tasmanian devil during her early pregnancy, and the host tried to soothe her with a cup of tea. She didn't like the tea and threw it at the staffer. What a nightmare. Thanks for watching.